Hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching this special presentation of Sansad TV with your host Kriti Mishra. And joining us today in this conversation is a very special guest, Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Dr. Vivek Joshi. Sir, welcome to Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. Sir, let's begin talking about the interim budget. And one of the biggest takeaways from Finance Minister's speech was direct benefit transfer of 34 lakh crore rupees using Jan Dhan accounts. So do you think that these accounts have proved to be truly game changer in the financial inclusion space of India?
Yes, I think that they have played a very big role in whatever progress we are seeing in our banking sector today. They are having they are providing kind of a fuel for improving the banking sector. Around 2.75 lakh crore is there in these Jan Dhan accounts. So, overall they are playing a very good role to improve the banking.
Well, absolutely, sir. And also the fact that leveraging the JAM Trinity, we have prevented leakages that has resulted in savings of 2.7 lakh crore, means more focus on women, youth, Annadata and poor of the country.
Yes, because the money saved is money earned actually, and if you the number you are quoting in terms of saving done just because of use of DBT is phenomenal, and each year if we see this kind of savings, then naturally we can bring build more roads, we can build more schools using that money.
Absolutely, sir. And before I talk about specific schemes and the programs, sir, how do you think over the years your department has ensured ease of living for citizens, because that is the focus of the current dispensation?
You see, if we look at banks 10 years from where we are now, there are many not improvements in terms of the profitability of the banks. NPAs etc. have been reduced to the historical low level from the historically high levels in last few 10 years. Not only that, but they have also digitalized their processes because of the thrust given by the current government for digital India. So, all the banks today, I can talk more authoritatively on public sector banks,
Sir.
They are highly digitalized, including the smallest of our banks. So, that has been a very good progress made. It has certainly helped the consumer and improved their lives, I would say.
So, taking a cue from what you said about the NPAs, now the gross NPAs have reduced from perhaps 9.33 lakh crore in 2019 to 5.17 lakh crore in 2023. How has the department improved the quality of assets of scheduled commercial banks?
So, you see the NPAs have been reduced because over the years some corrective actions were taken, number one, and capital were infused by the government in the banks to make them viable. There were some of the banks which were under the corrective action by the RBI and they could not lend, etc. So, that is one part of the story, and then government has also improved the provisioning done by these banks. They were asked or nudged by the government to provide for the NPAs, in which RBI had played a very critical role by changing the rules of the game, by recognizing their bad assets in advance, and you know these steps were taken. So, by that we have made lot of progress, and today the NPAs, net NPAs are very less for public sector banks, as you have already quoted. In terms of percentage, they are below 1%, and GNPA is almost like 2 to 3%. So, we have come a long way actually. Plus, most important of all, that in the banking sector, the selection of senior executives, that we have been very serious. this government has been very serious in selection of chairman, MDs of the banks and executive directors is based on entirely on merit by FSIB. There is a different body other than the government which selects these senior level executives, which makes the recommendations, and they are based entirely 100% on merit.
So, while this is a huge achievement, but I'll draw your concern or attention to the area of concern for all of us, that is online fraud, digital fraud. How well prepared are we to deal with such frauds in the fintech space?
So, this is like a ongoing battle we are playing with the fraudsters, and not only in banking sector, but in any of the sectors. If you use digital technologies for providing any of the services, you will see there are 5 other similar or seemingly similar services provided by the fraudsters, and they innovate very fast. So, we also have to innovate, and lot of steps have been taken by the government. First of all, these are overlapping areas of this cyber security. There is Home Ministry, there is Ministry of Information Technology, and then DFS, Ministry of Finance. So, there are various stakeholders. So, all stakeholders, unless they work in a coordinated manner, nothing will be achieved. There are state government, state police, they also play a very, very big role. So, the government has designated Ministry of Home as the nodal for tackling with this problem. Ministry of Home has provided for a helpline in which any complaint can be registered, and there is a web portal also, cyber security fraud. So, you can register your complaint, and then all the stakeholders come into motion simultaneously. We are also talking with the private sector players, which are big players like Google and Apple, Google Store like Play Store, where these apps are put by the fraudsters. We have taken through Ministry of IT a lot of steps in checking those apps, etc. Now, we have requested Google, which they have implemented also, that if somebody wants to launch a fintech kind of app in Google Play Store, they will check whether that has been authorized by RBI or any other regulating agency or not. Similarly, if they are not authorized, whether they are authorized by the banks or any financial institution. So, all those things, unless they verify, they won't launch in the they won't put in the Play Store. So, these are the steps we have taken. Then there is most important part which I feel is public awareness.
Of course. And
awareness creation I have seen is very important to tackle this menace, I would say, and word over this phenomena is actually word over these kind of fraudsters. So, we have to educate our public constantly, take steps which all our stakeholder ministries, organizations have to take. We have designated our banks and their data centers as national infrastructure of critical importance. So, all those steps we are taking, and at my level we keep on reviewing with RBI, Home Ministry, METI and other stakeholders, with the banks, and then regular follow up is also being done. For your information, IT Ministry plays a very important role, and few months back they reported to DFS that they have stopped around 75 lakh fraud mobile numbers, people who were using those mobile numbers. So, they are also creating some kind of a registry where you can log in, where you can inform the fraudsters number, and then it can be blocked, etc. So, lot of steps we are taking. there are some steps which are in the pipelines. So, that is the way forward we are going.
Well, sir, and as you said that as customers, as consumers, we have to be very cognizant and awareness is very important. But moving on and talking about PM-SVANidhi, sir, credit assistance has been extended to 78 lakh street vendors. Going ahead, sir, what are the plans? How do you plan to expand this further?
So, just I want to point out, this is a new scheme and launched by our Honorable Prime Minister, and this is a very I would say a very forward looking step taken by Government of India, and people, all those numbers you have quoted, 75 lakh, or I mean according to me there are more, actually 83 lakh now. Out of them 45% are women, and most of the people have never got any loans from the banks. So, this is a very big step, not only in terms of helping the street vendors in terms of providing loan, but bringing them into the banking system. So, now they will have a credit history, they will have, because digital payment etc. is being promoted through SVANidhi, they will have a digital history of receiving money and making repayments for the loans they have taken. So, we are really focusing on this scheme. This is very important for, it is led by Mahua, but DFS is an equal partner in this scheme.
Sir, since you are talking about gender parity, I am reminded of another very important scheme that has led to gender equalization, that is perhaps Mudra, and 30 crore loans extended to women. How do you see this particular scheme empowering our women? And we have been talking about women-led development, in fact.
You have correctly pointed out the numbers, which is around 68% of our total Mudra loans. And incidentally, since you have quoted Mudra, this reminds me, last 26th January, we invited our beneficiaries to, they were like our special guest who attended this program, Republic Day's program. So, we invited our Mudra beneficiaries, and there were 300 of them. All of them were invited with their spouses, and they stayed here for 2 or 3 days and were shown different, not only to the Republic Day parade, but were also shown different places in Delhi. I had the chance to interact with them. You see, this is and that was quite a learning for me, in the sense that the impact this scheme has created in the lives of women, because each one of them is providing employment to at least 15 people or more.
Yes.
That is a very big thing. Then they told their success stories, and mostly women, that how they have been able to fulfill their dreams and aspirations of sending their children abroad by using the money they made out of the profession which they were doing with the help of Mudra. So, that was very encouraging for me, and since most of them were assisted by their spouse in their business propositions, it was a very good, I mean, I think it has made a very good impact.
बिल्कुल सर, एंड चलते चलते एंड बिफोर वी रैप अप दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन, सपना है विकसित भारत देखने का 2047 तक, कितने तैयार हैं हम? आपकी क्या तैयारियां, किस तरह की कंट्रीब्यूशन?
तो विकसित भारत के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर हम बात करें, तो एक योजना जो अभी बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट नई लॉन्च की है, वो है प्रधानमंत्री विश्वकर्मा योजना। ये बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट स्कीम है, और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इस स्कीम में ये हम लोगों को कहा हुआ है कि इसमें हमें एक तरह का टेम्पलेट बनाना है इस स्कीम को, जिसमें क्वालिटी पे फोकस करना है, और वो एक तरह का सारा कुछ डिजिटली हो रहा है, बेनिफिशियरी का चयन डिजिटली होगा, 3 स्तर पे हो रहा है। तो ठोक बजा के हमें देखना है कि वास्तव में वो विश्वकर्मा है अथवा नहीं, और जो 18 हमारे ट्रेड उसमें हैं PM विश्वकर्मा स्कीम के अंदर, उनमें से ही है कि नहीं। तो यानी कि वो स्कीम को हम नॉट ओनली इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहते हैं बट एज ए मॉडल टेम्पलेट फॉर विकसित भारत डेवलप करेंगे, कि वो आने वाली जो योजनाएं हैं या जो एग्जिस्टिंग भी हैं उस टेम्पलेट के फॉर्म में जहाँ पे क्वालिटी पे अब फोकस हो वो किया जाएगा। विकसित भारत से मुझे अभी ये याद आया कि एक विकसित भारत संकल्प यात्रा भी चलाई गई थी सभी मिनिस्ट्रियों के द्वारा, जो एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्ट्री उसमें नोडल थी और हमारे भी था। विकसित भारत का जो संकल्प है वो ये है कि 2047 में देश को हमने एक डेवलप्ड कंट्री करना है, और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का भी यही फोकस है कि इस यात्रा के माध्यम से हमें जन जागृति पैदा करनी है लोगों में कि 47 तक अपने देश को हमें विकसित करना है। ये बहुत बड़ा उद्देश्य इस यात्रा का है। यात्रा अभी भी चल रही है अर्बन एरिया में, रूरल एरिया में काफ़ी कवरेज हो चुका है, जहाँ नहीं है वो भी अभी वहाँ पे भी चल रही है। DFS का जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस की हमारी उसमें 6 योजनाएं थी। प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना थी जो कि हमारी बेसिक स्कीम है, जो आधार है सारे स्कीमों का। फिर प्रधानमंत्री जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना थी हमारी, प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षा बीमा योजना, प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा योजना जो आपने नाम लिया, अटल पेंशन योजना और स्टैंड अप इंडिया। ये 6 योजनाएं हमारे उसमें थीं विकसित भारत यात्रा में। उसमें बहुत सारी एप्लीकेशंस हमारे पास लाखों में आई हैं और बहुत सी एप्लीकेशंस पे तुरंत कार्रवाई करके बैंकों को ये आदेश था कि वहीं पे वो बेनिफिशियरी को जो भी बेनिफिट है दे दें, जो नहीं दे पाएंगे वो उसके बाद उन पे कार्रवाई करके देंगे। तो विकसित भारत के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में एक जो इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है सैचुरेशन का है। इस यात्रा का उद्देश्य ये भी था कि सैचुरेट करना है बेनिफिशरीज़ को, जो भी छूट ना जाए कोई भी। और दूसरा विकसित भारत के लिए हमें अपने बैंकों को भी तैयार करना है। तो ये सारी डायरेक्शंस में काम हमारा विभाग कर रहा है।
जी बिल्कुल सर, आपने अपने विचार साझा किए एंड यू गिव अस योर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड क्रूशियल स्कीम्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट एंड ऑफ कोर्स शेयर्ड योर विजन of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you so much for talking to Sansad Television.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.